you very much. I'm here to talk to you, tell you about myself in a little last 5 minutes today. And how many of you know my name? Tolu. Thank you. But my full name is Tolu Lokpe. Tolu Lokpe, but the short is Tolu, so that you don't bite your tongue. You can just say Tolu. Okay. Now I come from Nigeria, and in Nigeria we give our names. We give our children names based on the circumstances surrounding the birth or something that gives praise to God. So for me, I was born a premature, and the meaning of my name is Tolu Lokpe. That means praise be to God, or to God be the glory. Because I was born a premature, my parents didn't expect me to be born at 6 months. And when I was born and I survived, and they were like, oh, to God be the glory for this child. We're happy because I was born at 3.3 pounds. That's like 1.5 kg. And I was never put in the incubator because they were scared at the hospital that I was going to die. So they were like, oh, please just take her home. I don't know, any way you want to do it for her to survive, just do it. And you know, some other people like midwives came and they helped, they encouraged my mom, just keep wrapping her up in a blanket. And I was as small as this bottle here. I was as small as a bottle there. Just like this small, this line small. And they kept praying for me and kept hoping that I was going to survive. And
you did.
And I did, yeah. Yeah. And I did. Referring back to Jaden's presentation earlier, like some days back, he asked, what was your most memorable childhood experience? And thinking back, I had a lot of things to remember from my childhood, like the plays we had. Like at times, when our parents are going out, they drive out and we all start running after the car, which was so much fun when I think back now again to it. And then the most memorable that I still remember right now is the Sabbath days. I'm a Seventh-day Adventist, and my parents brought us up in a way that we have to remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And so we always look forward to it because we had so much food to eat. We had a lot of things that we never expected on other days. So today I'm going to be talking to you about what made me who I am today, and those are my family, my childhood experience, my belief, my career, my likes and dislikes. Okay, so my family, I was born into a family with 5 children. I have 3 brothers and a sister, and we all grew up to be like a reserved family. Like we don't always talk. We're the quiet type in my family, and out of the 5 kids, I'm the only one that is always like open to talk. Like everybody's always scared to talk, and like they're reserved. We don't participate in things. We're always like, so out of the 5 of us in the house, I'm like the radio. They always call me radio without battery or wire. Like I don't have control of my mouth. But when I'm out there, I'm quiet. But inside, out of the 5 of us, I'm the one that is always open to talk. So when we go out and they need to express themselves, they always push me like, okay, go say this, go say this. And that's how we all grew up in my house. And this also, in my family, we never got to be in the spotlight because we're kind of the reserved people. And then we also had, growing up, my dad wasn't so involved in the house because we have this culture of like, the dad is always there to go work and the mom has to be the one in the house. So my dad was always there in time of paying the school fees and supplying money for things to be bought in the house, but to play with us, he wasn't really involved. And then, okay, growing up, I got married, and in 2009, and I have 3 kids. So I have a family of my own, and I have a boy and 2 girls. I have a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 1-year-old. And they all have different personalities. Like the house is always like, one is this, one is my daughter, the 4-year-old, she likes to talk a lot.
She's like you.
The 6-year-old, he's like reserved. And the 1-year-old, we don't really know her yet, but she likes to be like doing her own things herself and try to play with everybody together. So back to my old childhood, like growing up, I said a little about it. Like we always like to play with things. Like when Javin asked the question the last time, I said I like to play with tires, like rolling tires around or chasing cars, things that it's more creative and much more developing than now just sitting down with the TV, just one-way communication. But there we are, we involved all our senses, and we had a lot of fun back then, which anytime I think back and look at what my kids are doing today, I'm like, I think you guys are missing a lot.
True.
Anyway, so my belief system, I told you initially that I was born a Seventh-day Adventist, and we have a lot of beliefs that we need to remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, which is in Exodus 20 verse 8. So we worship on the seventh day, which is the Saturday, and we call it the Sabbath day. Just like Sweetie, I was baptized at the age of 13, and I was also brought up to know that you have to get married to a Seventh-day Adventist because you're an Adventist, so that you guys will not have conflicts about going to church. So back in, I had the principle like Sweetie too, to know that when you're going to get married, whoever you're looking for, it has to be an Adventist. So I went to school. I went to the elementary school and the high school as a public school in the federal government school. But my university, I had it in a Seventh-day Adventist school, which is Babcock University. And there, my husband was also there. We went to the same school together. And I got to meet him because of his personality. He's kind of a jovial person. He likes to mix with people. And that was one thing I felt I lacked in my life, because I was kind of the reserved person in public. And I was like, oh, I think I need more life to my life. And he is a kind of entrepreneur, even right from the university days. He was always trying to make money with giving a show, like making people laugh. He was always like an MC. So I got to know him, and we got to know ourselves better, and we got married in 2009. Okay, I was still here. I was in America for my education, for my MBA in Human Resource Management in 2008, for my MBA in Human Resource Management. And my plan was, okay, do your MBA, go back home and get married, and then we live back in Nigeria. So my husband knew about my plan. Then we were not married. So he came, he said, okay, go, and then you come back and we get married. So I came, did my class. I had to take a huge workload because I thought I was going to go back home. Then after a while, I was like, oh no, I don't want you to come back. I want to come and meet you over there. So I was like, okay. So in between my class, we never planned it, and we never thought that we're going to get married in 2009, March. We thought we were going to get married later, but since he was coming, we're like, okay, you can come here. We'll be living together. We'll be married. So I went back home and we got married. It was like a huge surprise to my parents because two of my siblings had already planned to be married that same year. And in Nigeria, marriage is not just a small occasion. It's a huge occasion with celebration, with lots of fun. Sometimes we take like 2 days for the occasion. That's how it is, yeah? So for my education, I had my BSc in public administration. I was the best student in my class. At the age of 20, I graduated. And I was almost a first class, but because of some of my friends were like, oh, if you have a first class, you're not going to get a good job. You're not going to get a job. People are going to be thinking you're overqualified. So that made me step down a little bit and got me where I am today to listening to my friends. Okay, then I actually in 2014 came here for my PhD in leadership and administration. And when I got here, I was like, oh, what is this going to benefit me? Like, how is it going to help me in life? Even though I know PhD in leadership and administration was one thing I wanted to advance in my education, but coming here, I was like, okay, what am I going to make out of it? Like the money. PhD, I can read it. I don't have to be in class. I can do it online. So let me do something else, like diversify in my career to have a double career. And then that's why I thought of, okay, let me go into nursing. Nursing is like what sells like in America right now. So I went into researching about how to be a nurse. That's the entry-level master's in nursing. That's my future plan. And that's why I'm here today in class doing my prerequisites in nursing so that I can go further to do my entry-level in master's in nursing. Okay, so my working experience, I worked in 2006.